Okay. Hello everybody, this is Coleman here, back with another League of Legends video. This is going to be on creep wave management and just reading creep waves and just general creep skills, I guess you could say. So first things first, when you get into the game at 1:47 game time, the waves in bot and top will hit each other right in the center of the lane here. Okay, we're just going to stick with bot because that's the lane I play. So they'll meet right in the center, and the creeps will be exactly even on both sides, and they'll meet right there. Okay. Now, in theory, they should stay frozen right in this location. However, the game isn't perfect, and sometimes the pathing for minions gets messed up, and it slowly pushes towards one side. So let's say red side, one of these minions, let's say the third caster minion right here. Oh fuck. the third melee minion reaches lane, let's say like 1 millisecond later than this minion here. Since red side reached, or like the red mini wave reached the lane later, even though it's by a little bit, since it reached later, blue side has a slight advantage, and therefore after a few minutes it will slowly push towards red side because the wave arrived there sooner, they're going to get off more auto attacks and all that stuff. So that's what happens at the beginning of the game. But we'll kind of ignore that because those effects are pretty minuscule, and we'll just say that they stay completely frozen in the center. Now, if the wave, let's say you're like 10 minutes into the game or something, and the waves meet like right here, perfectly even, just like they are, same amount of minions, all that kind of stuff, they meet right on this side. So we're now blue side favored, okay? Here, since blue side minions are actually arriving sooner than the red side, like for the first wave they arrive at the same time right in this location, but when the reinforcements come, since it's closer to blue side, the blue side reinforcements rather, will reach there sooner, and they'll get off more auto attacks quicker, and the blue minions will snowball their lead into red side and slowly push towards red side. Same goes for red side. If the wave meets right here, it will slowly push towards blue side. Okay, and this effect is greater the farther you are away from the center of the lane. So let's say you're right here, it'll be very slow, and let's say if you're like, I don't know, oh, I can't really move my screen. Let's say you're like way back here on the mini map. Even if the waves are equal, it will still push faster towards blue side because it's farther away from the center, because the waves always want to reach equilibrium, right? Like let's say they're over here on this side, they're going to want to push towards blue side, they push towards blue side, and then they want to push back, and eventually after a long period of time they'll reach in the middle again because they want to be in equilibrium with each other. So that's it if you have equal minions, okay? And now if you have unequal minions, so let's actually just erase this. If you have unequal minions, all it does is counteracts what we just went over, okay? So we'll keep the center of the lane right there, and let's say it's about right here. So to the center of either top or bot lane bush, to the center of the lane, this area is the one minion area, okay? So what that means is if the lane reaches here with even minions, like we already went over, it will slowly push towards red side because it's closer to blue side. But if red side has one extra minion, because this is the one minion area, it will actually counteract this position, and it will stay frozen right here. So the position from blue side has an advantage, and it will push towards red side, but also red side has an advantage because it has an extra minion, and it will want to push towards blue side. So it'll stay right here. So that's if you have one extra minion, okay? And if you have one extra minion, like let's say back here, like let's say they meet in the center of the lane, and red side has one extra minion, it will push obviously towards blue side because it has an advantage, and blue side has no advantage because it's in the center of the lane. So that's the one minion area, and now the second minion area, I have to kind of redraw this. I know it's pretty confusing to like get a grasp on because not a lot of people really think about this kind of stuff. They just like push their wave and hope for the best sometimes. Okay, so this is the center again. This was the first minion area. Oh god, that one is terrible. Okay, whatever. That's a 1. Okay. Right here, from this rock kind of downwards, this is the second minion area, okay? So it's the same thing as the first, except for since it's closer to blue side, red now needs 2 minions to counteract the new positioning of the wave. So it's the exact same thing as the first, but just 2 instead. Okay, and when I say 2 minions, I mean either a melee or a caster. Cannons are a little bit different, because cannons are fucking strong. And supers, by the way, supers just push towards whatever side, whatever opposing side. So you can forget about them. Okay, let's erase this. Sorry, the pen doesn't really move with the screen, so I have to re-erase it every time. All right. So this area right here, this was like the second area. Oh god, that was like the second area. This is the third area. So this is 3 melees or casters extra needed to stay frozen here, or 2 cannon minions. Okay, they need less cannon minions because cannon minions have more health, more damage, all that kind of stuff. So you can have 2 instead of 3, and it still is the same effect. Now we're ignoring tower, by the way. We've been ignoring tower this entire time because basically all tower does is pushes the wave back towards the other direction. Okay, so let's say tower has infinite health and it can't be destroyed by minions. If there's like even 40 minions on red side, okay, like without tower, those bad boys would push right towards blue side because there's 40 extra of them. It's pretty much like common sense they would push. But if it hits tower, since they have to attack the tower and they can't move any further, and tower is attacking them back, it's going to kill all of them, and the wave is going to reset just in front of tower. Okay, you might have noticed this in lane. Like if you push towards your enemy or whatever, bounce it off their tower, the next time the creep wave meets is just in front of their tower. Okay, and that's important because now that it's even in front of their tower and tower is no longer attacking it, it's going to push back towards you. Okay, so it's the same effect here. The tower eliminates all the minions, assuming they don't destroy the tower, and it will slowly push back towards the other direction. Okay, so for these areas, we just ignore tower, because tower just pushes it. Okay, and now anywhere beyond this line, over here, 4 minions will push. Okay, actually anywhere on the map. If you have 4 minions in your advantage, anywhere on the map, they will always push towards the opposing side, okay? And when I say 4 minions, I don't know, I may have already said this, but when I say 4 minions, what I mean is full health minions, okay? That's why when I say any minion, it has to be a full health minion, because if you have like a minion with like 10 HP, then obviously it doesn't count as a full minion, because like in one auto attack it's going to die and it's useless as fuck. So it has to be full health for it to count. And now, obviously, in a real game scenario, it's not always going to be perfect like that. You're going to have half-ass minions and shit like that. And so you're pretty much going to have to use your judgment and kind of figure it out for yourself. Because it really is hard to make a rule for that. Because, I mean, like, if you say that, let's say blue side has 4 extra minions all at quarter HP. You could say that that's worth 1 minion of health. But since they have 4 minions worth of auto attacks, it doesn't really count as a minion, and it counts as 4 minions kind of, and it gets like really complicating. So you have to kind of just use your own judgment. And after you do this for a while, you kind of it's almost like you're like sixth sense. So you just look at it and you can already just tell if it's going to push or not. And this video is just kind of more of the idea behind it and kind of to get you going, I guess, with this. So that's that. So now you're probably asking yourself, why the hell do I need to know this? So, in lane, okay, we're going to pretend you're playing ADC. In lane, when you arrive here at the beginning of the lane, you want to push for level 2, not as fast as possible, but you want to get it before your opponent gets it, okay? And the reason why you do this is kind of going off topic a little bit, but the reason why you do this is because you can harass them, for one, because you're level 2 and they're level 1, and if they try to harass back, you have an extra ability, you have extra stats, all that stuff. And also, since you were pushing, you have extra creeps on your side, so if they auto-attack you or whatever, they're going to take a shit ton of creep damage, and you can win any trade, okay? So that's why you want to push for level 2. But the other reason is because now that you get level 2, You can zone them off the creep wave because, like I said, they're at low HP, they're tilted, whatever, because you just all in them level 2 or harass them. You can zone them off the creep wave and just slow push to their tower. And what I mean by slow push is like just last hitting their minions, because your wave is already pushing. You already got level 2 first. Like, you already have minions in your advantage. So if you just last hit, as in you don't use any more auto attacks than you have to on their minions, then you'll slow push to their tower, okay? And that will deny them creeps on the way to their tower, because obviously, since you're pushing it slower, their minions have more time to kill your minions, and hence they get less farm. But also, since you're slow pushing it, the extra minions that are left over are going to be at awkward health, like they're going to be at awkward HPs, and they're going to hit tower, and then they're going to be screwed, because it's hard to last hit a caster under tower when he's quarter HP, and the tower just kills him instantly. So that's that, and you're going to get an advantage from that. They're going to be tilted, all that kind of stuff. But also, now that you've bounced it off their tower, like we said earlier, towers bounce it towards the other direction. Since you've bounced it off tower, you can now let it push towards you, and you can freeze, like in this area over here. This is usually where you want to freeze, like kind of in this area. And you can just hold the wave right there. Okay, and just a little side note, how you freeze is it's pushing towards you. Let's say their red minions kill all your blue minions, and there's like 2 extra red minions left over. You actually tank those red minions and don't let them hit your tower, and you just freeze the wave right where I have this in yellow. And that's how you freeze the wave. And you just hold the wave there, and since you have an advantage from your level 2 all in or whatever, you can just zone them off, and they can't do anything, because they can't go for their CS, because if they do, you're going to punish them for it. And if they go all in, you're under your tower. They can't do anything about that. And they can't gank you because you're safe. Like if you put a ward and try, then they're screwed. And even if they do try to gank you, they're under your tower, and they're just going to get like triple killed. So they can't do anything. So that's how you use this creep wave management in your lane. So as a recap, push for level 2, bounce it off their tower, and freeze in front of your tower. Okay? Whew, a lot of talking. Now, mid to late game. In the mid to late game, as AD carry, you're less focused on gold income, and you're more focused on like actually being a threat to the enemy team and getting objectives and creating pressure. Okay, so in the beginning of your lane, you try to deny gold, and now that you're trying to get objectives, you want to always have your lane pushing. Okay, because as you probably already know, if you're in bronze, silver, gold, whatever, lower elo, everyone likes to funnel and team fight mid and play team deathmatch. Okay, and if you get your minion wave slow pushing towards the enemy base, your minion wave is pretty much just gonna like destroy anything in its path. Okay, like if it's on a super slow push and you have like 40 creeps in your wave, like it's gonna take like 2 towers, man. And so you can pretty much just let minions do the work and distract them on the other side of the map. So that's what you want to do, like mid to late game. You always want to get on a slow push. So what I'd recommend is, if you come across this scenario, let's say we're 25 minutes into the game, 2 fresh waves are meeting each other, you would auto attack and kill the back 3 casters, okay, and give up these melee minions. You don't hit them, you just kill the casters. And the reason why you do this is not for the caster gold, but the reason is because now your creep wave meets in the center, but it has 3 minions in its advantage. So it will automatically push towards red side, but since you didn't kill the melees, it won't push as fast, and the wave will build up a bunch of minions, and it will take out towers for you, okay? And that's another thing I forgot to mention. Like, the bigger your wave has as an advantage, the faster it will push, but the less minions it will push with, okay? Like, let's say you auto-attack this back minion just once, and you don't kill anything. If you auto-attack it just once, your blue wave will have a slight advantage, and it will push super slow, but when it does push, it will have a shit ton of minions, and it'll do more damage to your enemy and create more pressure. But it just takes more time to create that pressure. So that's kind of the trade-off. But usually the safe thing to do is just 3 minions. That's kind of the right balance between the amount of pressure and the amount of time it takes. Okay, so you do that. Let's say you do that bot lane, and now the enemy goes to clear the wave. Like, let's say this blue wave builds up, pushes, let's say this is dead, this tower, and it pushes towards this tower. Now you have like 30 minions under their tower, and they can either go and clear those minions, or they can group at Baron. And if they go and clear the minions, you have a 5v4 at Baron, take Baron, whatever. And if they do group at Baron, they lose their tower. So it's a win-win for you, and that's pretty much the safest thing like you can do to create pressure, is manipulate your creep waves, okay? And in general, even if you're not going for an objective and you're just team fighting, doing this will like pretty much guarantee create a 4v5 for your team, unless the enemy is actually kind of smart. Like if you're in low elo and you get the wave pushing and somebody farms bot, then you just insta all in their team, and then they flame each other and you win. Okay, so that's how you manipulate waves mid to late game. So that pretty much does it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you have any questions, you can comment or send me a message on YouTube, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you very much.